I got Teak when he was just over a year old from Everett, Washington, a breeder where we get most of our police dogs. I trained with him for about 14 weeks after that, and we just hit it off right away. So it was a really good partnership from the get-go.
The bond between Derek and Teak is pretty strong. Most dog handlers and their dogs are together for years and years and work as a partnership pretty close.
It's the epitome of a police dog handler and his dog. They've known each other since Teak was a pup. Derek spends more time with that dog than he does with his family members, and I think you can't help but develop such a bond. We jokingly say, you know, where's Dad? Or where's your son? That sort of thing, and that's pretty much what it is. He's a family member. It's obvious when you see the two of them work and the two of them get along and carry about their business. It's quite a unique relationship.
He just is, I would say, the perfect police dog, and he's also the best partner I've ever had. On the day of the incident, I was working my regular shift. About 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock that evening, a call of a robbery came in.
We heard that there was a man with a knife that attempted to rob a gas station, and he had since left the area and was running away from the gas station there. I ended up spotting this individual walking along one of the streets there in Vancouver, and I called for Derek and Teak.
I got out of my truck with Teak, approached the suspect and challenged him, and what I say is I identify myself as city police. Stop or I'll send my dog, you're under arrest. The suspect started running.
Derek released Teak after giving some commands.
He took off running and caught up to him, I'm going to say maybe 3/4 of a block, and bit him in the left leg, taking him to the ground.
We ran over quickly to help Teak out, as it looked like the person was actually punching Teak.
Teak came off the suspect's leg and took hold of his left arm. And at that time I saw what I thought was the suspect punching Teak. As it turns out, the suspect had a knife. I didn't see it from my perspective, but Matt saw that, and thankfully he deployed his conducted energy weapon.
We ended up taking the person into custody, and only later learned that Teak had been hurt.
His neck was slashed basically from the spine around to the front of his throat. It was about 3 inches wide and about 2 inches deep, and just a gaping wound that was starting to bleed quite profusely.
We didn't even know that he was hurt at first because he was so strong that he wasn't making any kind of noise, or he didn't seem upset at all.
We escorted Teak Code 3, which is emergency lights and sirens, to our emergency vet. Other units in the city had heard. I was broadcasting that I was bringing him to the animal hospital. He'd been stabbed. They shut down all the intersections for us to pass through. We got him there. The doctors stopped the bleeding. They performed what medical procedures they could, stabilized him, and then we took him to a specialist at Canada West Veterinary in Burnaby.
I was obviously sick to my stomach when I heard about it. Then I understood that Teak was going to survive his wounds. I found out that he came very close to losing his life because of the fact that the cut was close to his jugular vein. That would have been tragic, obviously, but he was very lucky.
This person with the knife could have easily injured anyone on the street. Teak was really a hero in this situation, where he took all the brunt of the force from this person with the knife. Being inflicted with that kind of wounds from the stabbing, and just not to let go and to continue with his job at hand, and it's pretty admirable.
The suspect could have very easily have turned that knife on anybody.
If Matt was there by himself or another policeman challenging him, it would have been them being stabbed. If I confronted him by myself, I could have been stabbed. He could have stabbed the people that he was confronting or coming upon on the street. So Teak saved those people's lives, and quite potentially the suspect's life. If he would have confronted a policeman with the knife, he could have been shot, and it could have ended a lot worse for him as well.
As a police officer, we know that we have to go above and beyond to protect others, and Teak is just like one of us, and he definitely went above and beyond that day.
I think it's the best case scenario, whereas the dog has survived, the bad guy was caught, and everybody's just happy that you know, Teak lives to see another day.
He never relented. He pursued the suspect just like we were trained and have done hundreds of times before. When he was being slashed, I can't imagine what that would have felt like for pain-wise. He never released his bite until I told him to. He performed exactly as we trained him to do and exactly as I asked him to do, which was above and beyond comprehension. It was just amazing how he performed that night.
I think it's great Teak's being inducted into the Purina Animal Hall of Fame. I couldn't think of a more heroic or courageous dog.
For Teak to be inducted into the Purina Animal Hall of Fame is just an honor for a lifetime. It culminates all the hard work he's done for the department and for the citizens of Vancouver and the province of British Columbia is just fantastic. I don't think there could be a better honor, and he deserves it 100%. There's no words that can describe how proud I am of him.